now we fast forward and maybe we should go to COVID, or maybe talk about, and I know it's kind of dark, but you have openly talked about when you lost, your
Yeah,
grandfather, or like how when you have other core foundational pillars of people in your life, it means that much more because of the fact that the vultures and the leeches, or whatever you want to
yeah,
call it, snakes, if Ryan's listening, because literal and figurative snakes, um, that's why it's so like someone took a leg out of a table when you lost your grandfather, right? Because you
yeah,
have that limited sense of safety and trust and true, like, unrequited, love that is pure without any quid pro quo attached.
yeah,
And so that hit you really hard, and it affected you, and it came out in your lyrics. And so I was wondering if you
yeah.
could talk a little bit about not just the pain, because I don't want to be super long in the
Hmm.
dark, but talk about how you processed and got through that.
Yeah. I mean, he was like a second father to me. I mean, I grew up here in Coney Island, and then my grandparents, my nonna and my nono, they lived in Gravesend. I was there basically like every day. Um, there wasn't, I don't think I've ever gone a week in my life without seeing them. So we were always very, very, very close. And he didn't speak English very well. He kind of had it down a little bit, but he came from Italy, brought my mom and her two sisters here from Italy, worked hard his whole life. And I was like the last kid born in the family out of all my cousins. And I was the one that was closest to him. So we had such a very close bond. And with COVID, I didn't even get to really say goodbye the way I wanted to say goodbye. I wasn't there with him that day because there was the lockdowns and the sanctions on like where you can go and what you can do. And who wants to do that over a FaceTime call? But at the end of the day, it was kind of like it always stings for like the first month or so. And you'll kind of go on and realize like, wow, I didn't really like get emotional about this today and whatever, but I always kind of felt like he was watching over me. He's come to visit me in my dreams a lot.
I believe
Like I'll
that.
see him I'll see
Said
him a
he-
good amount of times. I had a dream one time actually where I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but I had a dream one time where every night I was in the jungle and I was with different people I knew or whatever, but I kept trying to like escape the jungle and I was in a boat and at the end of the dream like it would just stop and I'd wake up. And one day I finally got to like the beach of the shore and I could like leave the jungle, but there was this hotel on the beach and I went inside and there was this person standing there and they were like, well, you could have one wish before you go. I was like, I want to see my nono. And he was there, gave me a hug and he's like, I'm here. I love you. And he actually told me, and this is right around that time where I kind of had my falling out with my first group of friends after I'd kind of gotten accustomed to being popular on social media and kind of getting this fame coming into my life. Like, he actually said in the dream, things are going to get a little hard, but you're going to get through it. And I was like, I didn't know what it meant. But I went back in the boat, sailed out, never had another dream like that again. Years later, looked up what it means to have a dream in the jungle, and it said that it meant um, that you feel like you're surrounded by enemies. So,
and danger.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
and
So,
the unpredicted. The jungle is also very specifically, typically symbolism, like it's unpredictable. So you
yeah,
could step here and lose your footing. It's not
yeah,
like an obstacle course that you're getting prepared for that danger. And I
yeah,
think that's very symbolic for what that must have felt like. That's what I was saying about like not feeling like you have strong, solid support. And then one of the
hmm,
legs of that was your grandfather. So that's incredible, first of all, that you had those dreams, that you remember
yeah,
them, that you honor that, whether you believe in Allah or Buddha or Jesus or the universe or
hmm,
whatever that is, that there was a learning or a message for you in that. And it wasn't like all hearts and flowers, because it said what, it's going to be hard, it's going to be
yeah,
difficult,
yeah,
but it was positive still. Like, you
yeah,
got this, and you wanted to see
yeah,
him, and he appeared, even though it was in your dream.
yeah. Which is wild, you know.
Yeah. A
It's
lot.
kind of crazy, but he's always been such a support system to me my whole life. I mean, I don't think he knew what rap music even was before I started doing it. He used to listen to like Lazy Mary and all the Italian songs and stuff, you know? So even then, he would come see my shows. He would come and listen to me. Like I'd be rapping in the living room of his house or at the dinner table, and he would always just have a smile on his face. You look back at all the pictures, he always had his eyes on me. And honestly, when somebody passes, the only thing that I could say has helped me when a family member passes that I was so close with was just going on and fighting for them because they wouldn't want to see you sad, you know? They wouldn't want to see you upset and wrapped up in being sad that they're not here. They'd probably want to see you thriving and working hard at your dreams, you know?
Yeah, but it's
So
not that easy. Like,
it's not that simple, but
yeah,
after
yeah,
a
no, but that's
while,
incredible. So yeah.
after a while, it's gotten to that point for me where at first it stings and it hurts and you get emotional, but as of now, it's a feeling of like I'm gonna keep making this person proud.